The final example in the section before starting the exercises is about pie graphs or pie charts. So this chart here represents. You've seen all this stuff before in junior school, but just to go over it again, how it's useful is to say that in Greece you've got 10 million people. Oops, got the wrong tool here. You've got 10 million people in Greece and 3.5 million people in Ireland. So the pie charts are useful because even though they're different numbers in total, it's more about the fraction or the percentage of people who lie in these groups. So it doesn't rely on the total number. So there are four parts of this A, B, C, and D, and I'll hope to cover these in this video. So it's asking for roughly what percentage of people in Greece are aged 40 to 59. So 40 to 59 is this area, this section rather. Now, how do we work out that as a percentage of the total circle? Well, here's where you've got to get your protractor out and measure this angle. If you did that, you should find that this is about 90 degrees. And we know that 90 degrees is just a quarter of a circle. But if it what if it was 89 degrees or something? How would you do it then? Well, you would take this number and divide it by 360, because it's 360 degrees all the way around. And then that would give you a decimal. To work that out as a percentage, you'd have to then multiply that answer by 100. So overall, for part A, you should do 90 divided by 360 and times that by 100. And that would tell you it's 25%. And it looks about 25%. You know, if you're getting here 0.25%, then you know that that's nowhere near what it should be. So just remember to look at the chart to make sure that what you're writing is sensible. For part B, it says there are about 10 million people in Greece. Well, it said that in the question. Use your percentage from part A to work at roughly how many people are aged between 40 and 59. So what we've worked out is 25%, and we've got to find 25% of 10 million. So the best way, I think, of doing this is to convert the 25% into a fraction, because 25% means 25 out of 100. And then taking the fraction and multiplying the fraction then by the number 10 million. Simple as this. So by multiplying them, you should find that it's 2.5 million. Right, now what about part C? Dewey says that these charts show that there are more people. Here we go, more people. This is slightly different to what we have been talking about before. Under 15 in Ireland than in Greece. So under 15 here, you can see that this area is smaller than that area there. But are there more people here than there are here? Well, probably not, because in total here there are 10 million people, but in total here there are 3.5 million people. So what we should do is work out the total number of people in each one of these sections and then compare that. So if we did the same sort of process as we did in part A, we should measure this angle, divide that then by 360 and multiply that answer by 10 million. Here we should do the same. So by doing those calculations, we should find that with Ireland, in our work, we need to be clear on what we're doing by labelling the different equations. So through Ireland, it was a quarter times 3.5 million. No, that was the angle, 90 out of 360, which is roughly equal to 0.875 million. Now, the reason I've used this symbol is because it's not going to be exactly this figure, because this isn't exactly 90 degrees, and when you're measuring things, I really should have written this here as well. And finally then for Greece, the angle is around 60 degrees, so 60 over 360 times 10 million, which is roughly going to be 1.67 million. So by looking at the graph above, the island was 0.875, the Greece was 1.67. So this was 1.67 here, million, and this was 0.875 million. And you can see that actually the Greece population was larger, even though the area was smaller. Right, finally then in part D, it says there are about 60 million people in the UK. The table shows roughly what percentage of people in the UK are of different ages. So we've got the same sort of data, but it's written here in a different form. And we've got to then copy and complete the pie chart to show the information in the table. So whenever you're drawing a circle for a pie chart, always do the dot first. So you draw the dot and then you can draw the outer circle, because then you know where the center is going to be. Now, if you wanted to try to work out what each one of these is going to be as an area, how would you do it? Well, 20% we've got to find as a degree, how many degrees that would be. So 20% of 360 is 20 divided by 100 times 360. And if oh, hang on, my pen's not working. I wonder why. Let's put a new layer. It's gonna work. That's strange. Okay, I'll have to start this video again.